Hey, everybody. Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America. My name is Brian Engelman.
And I'm Blake Walley.
And today is Friday, July the 26th, 2024. Thank you for joining us here on the Agree to Disagree show on the New American Media, because the old American media has failed you. We are doing a rapid fire show today, and I want to thank every one of you for watching. So without delay, without bloviating, let's jump into the program.
Okay.
All right.
Intro.
Right. Quick intro. Good intro.
It's all good.
Awesome.
We're jumping right into it. Okay.
Yeah, right on.
Than the other intro.
No, here we go.
Okay, let's roll.
All right, Blake, agree or disagree that Kamala Harris will make a fantastic president?
I am going to disagree strongly on that one. That sounds like a terrible idea, but I guess, yeah, the Democrats seem to maybe disagree. I don't know. I think they have to run with it. So I don't know. I don't think they would internally agree that this is their best choice, but I think they might be stuck with it.
Yeah, they don't have a good choice. That's the thing. There's no amount of moving the puzzle pieces around to get a win. Nothing they do can win. They don't have an ace up their sleeve. They have 3.5 years of destruction and violations of our civil liberties and madness, chaos, everything they touch, everything their fingerprints are on. Kamala being the border czar. Look at the border. She is the border czar. She's responsible for the border. They named it to her. This is her job performance. Grade her on her job performance. It's called an F. It is a failing grade 100%. And now that Obama has done his endorsements, do you want a fourth Obama term? OBAMALA, do. OBAMALA, do. OBAMALA, do. OBAMALA.
77. All right.
Absolutely. So if our TNAM meme team can clip that out as an individual segment, I'd greatly appreciate it. And really, you become a member of the team by creating the content and tagging us on X so we get the video and we can upload it. So, all right, Blake, what'd you pull up here? What do we have?
Well, yesterday we talked on the show that Obama had not endorsed Kamala, and that seemed like a potential issue, but I guess they changed their mind. So there's a video. I've heard it's a little cringy, but you know what? We're going to roll it. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Brian?
Cringe. Let's go.
Okay, I like it.
Kamala.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Unburdened by what has been. I mean, look, do you want a fourth Obama term? How have the last 3 terms been? How many trillions of dollars have been added? How much global instability? How much energy restriction? Higher costs, higher inflation? The importation of tens of millions of unvetted people. Is anyone happy? Does anyone want a fourth Obama term? Blake?
I certainly don't, but I guess apparently some people are excited about this. I don't know why. As long as it's against Trump or what have you, it doesn't seem to be based in reality. We've lived under both regimes, and I thought the 4 years of Trump were much better, in my opinion. But
yeah, by the way, hearing a rumor, just a rumor, but there is some chatter. This is not a report, but putting the ear to the railroad track, I'm hearing down the road that it's possible RFK Jr. may be suspending his campaign. I guess he has backed away from several upcoming events that have now been taken off the books, and he might just be fully endorsing President Trump. Don't know if that's accurate, but it's something I'm hearing, something to look into. That could be huge, Blake.
Oh, absolutely. That could be a game changer if that's happening. If they can make some kind of a deal and RFK gets a position in the cabinet and turns over his, I don't know, 5 to 10%. And he's got he's got a substantial amount of people.
I'm seeing
ready
4 to
vote for him.
5%.
4 to 5, that's enough to put Trump over the top.
That's very important, 4 to 5%. That's for sure. Okay, so we don't think Kamala will make a fantastic president, right?
No, I think it's another more puppetry. It would be different. She's going to be a little more feisty than old Joe. It's probably very easy to get him to go along with whatever agenda they want. Very obvious puppet stuff. But with Kamala, yeah, I mean, I think they must have made it some kind of a deal behind the scenes. So. And yeah, it will be Obama probably pulling strings and having a strong influence because his endorsement is pretty heavy. So that's a big deal.
I did share on X. Make sure you're following Blake on X at TV's Blake Walley. Make sure you're following the New American Media at American_media_, as well as on Rumble, the New American Media, and Blake, the Next Level News, and Blake Walley on Rumble, because those are the really only the two. Excuse me. Those are the only two platforms that I am currently. I built sandcastles near the water on YouTube and on Facebook. That was my mistake. I put a lot of time making some sandcastles that aren't there. So join us on Rumble, join us on X. But I did post something there, and I just upgraded my computer system, so I'm not fully connected and I can't share a screen right now. But if you go to our X feed, you'll see Tim Pool talking about the FEC. There's some lawsuits right now trying to get status updates on that. But my understanding is that funding has been paused on all this money that is pumped into the campaign or something that was earmarked for Biden, that it just can't go over to Kamala. So just keep your eye peeled on that part of this situation. A lot of dark money is funneled in. James O'Keefe has done several stories about Act Blue and how there's 86-year-old men or 83-year-old men that have made 8 transfers of more than $3,000 every day for the past 20 years. I don't know, something ridiculous like that. Like, these are sock puppet people for a gaslighting AstroTurf administration. That's exactly what the Democrats are. They're governed by the people in Hollywood, and their producers are just running a B-rate movie right now. It is ridiculous what they're trying to cram through, when we all kind of see it. So just keep your eye peeled on what is going to happen with some of that money, if it is eventually released, or if some of it gets hung up, and if some of the states are challenged that you're not able to swap a name out on the ballot. Just keep your eyes peeled on all of that. Plus, keep your eyes peeled on Joe Biden. Is he still with us? People are saying that the person that walked out and was very far away, after you looked at the Biden family sitting there in a line, they looked morose. And people are saying that what we're looking at as Biden is not really Biden. It's that he's already somewhere else. He's already gone. I don't know the validity of that, but we've seen those side-by-side comparisons of people with different ear structures, different teeth, different cranial structures, different hairline, different liver spots, and different smooth skin, things that look like masks. I mean, it feels like all of this is the most untrustworthy, unbelievable, unlegitimate administration you've ever seen, because it's a Hollywood stunt. It's a Hollywood production. It's straight out of Wag the Dog, Blake. I don't know what to make of it. I'm not going to tell you that Biden is gone and we have a C-3PO puppet up there, but I'm not going to go against that 100%. Something feels really off with this.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to admit it if they are using doubles or AI or who knows. They're just going to keep pretending that everything's fine, much like when Hillary Clinton passed out on the 9/11 anniversary, and they shoveled her into that van, and then she was fine 2 hours later, which was just BS. It looked like that was just a Hollywood stunt double, and then they had a little girl running into her arms. Yeah, it's all stage.
All right. So would you say that this is going to be the 4th Obama term then? The same people we hear? Eric Holder is going to be potentially involved or picking the vice president. What say you?
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be the same team. So, and yeah, with this big ringing endorsement, you better believe that it's going to be Obama heavily influencing from behind the scenes.
And I am totally fine never seeing a 4th Obama term. How about you? Next topic. All right. Maybe pull that one off. Let's go with this. Blake, agree, disagree that Democrats are rigging the nomination to keep donations? I did kind of allude to that earlier, so what say you?
Yeah, it appears it's actually not my opinion, but I will agree with it, and that is from, we just mentioned RFK Jr.
I got it.
You can pull that one up. Yeah. He's accusing Democrats of rigging the nomination with Harris so they can keep Biden's campaign donations. And this seems to be a lot of what this is about. If there was no money or the delegates weren't tied into it, they would probably just start with a whole fresh new ticket. But they're going to roll with Kamala and act like it's their first choice. Like they wanted it all along. Yes, RFK has called out the Democratic Party for the way it has pushed Kamala Harris to the front as their presidential pick without using the proper candidate selection process. So, and on Sunday, well, no, I wasn't gonna. Biden was announced that he would be dropping out. RFK applauded him. But then he also pointed out how the party shut him out when he originally tried to enter the race as a Democrat, noting they blocked him from even challenging Biden. So, yes, it's all that infighting, too. I actually wanted to register as a Democrat this year so that I could help support RFK just to see the inside workings.
Can you remember to bring that point up when we talk with John Fugelsang next week about when he said that a Republican shot Trump? It's like because someone registers in a state where Biden wasn't running, nobody ran against Biden. Why would you register as a Democrat? If you register Republican, you could vote Nikki Haley to try to take Trump out. That's most likely what happened there from that shooter. Right. And, let's remember to bring that up because you wanted to get involved with the Democrats just to kind of push out this nonsense and go with RFK and get some more sanity. But yeah, the rumors about Kennedy perhaps suspending some events and maybe he's going to be endorsing Trump and join his administration preemptively. That could be huge. Look into it. Hoping we get some updates on that. We'll see. It's speculation at this point. I'm not telling you this will happen, but if you were RFK, wouldn't you be bitter at the Democrats? Wouldn't you want to team up against them, Blake?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if you can make a deal and get a position. I don't think RFK is going to get anything. He's been shunned from the Democrats. So, and they wouldn't even give him a Secret Service protection. No, he's got no chance. And
he's got no choice.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would still kind of say I'm kind of a classical liberal, but not something I can relate with the modern day leftists. So it's a problem. Yeah, I could register as a Democrat to support RFK, or whether it was registering as a Republican, which I did to promote Ron Paul as a delegate for him. So yeah.
Well, let me
lines are blurred these days.
Let me take a sidebar here on the same topic. Democrats, Blake, agree, disagree that they're hypocrites for installing Kamala. Like they claim to be a party of democracy, right?
Yeah.
This is the third straight rigged primary that you've seen out of this Hollywood B movie, this terrible script.
Right. Yeah. They chased out Bernie in 2016. They didn't like that. And yeah, you got even Black Lives Matters. They're accusing the Democratic Party of being hypocrites. Or the same thing. They're installing Kamala. And there was no vote from the grassroots. There was nothing from the people. This is all from top to bottom. This is from Schumer, Pelosi, and Obama, and they have decided that they are going to go with Kamala, and they don't care about what your opinion is.
Okay, so yeah, definitely hypocrites, and we'll see if that comes back to bite them. If the chickens come home to roost with RFK throwing his support against that system that squeezed him out of a chance. I think the people would have easily picked RFK to represent the Democrats over Kamala. I'm not saying I would represent or endorse RFK over Trump by any stretch. I've made my choice. My choice has been made when the crap went down in 2020 elections, when he's up by hundreds of thousands of votes, and then 6 states magically paused their vote count with Trump ahead hundreds of thousands of votes in every state, roughly. And then I've known where my vote was going, but yeah, the Democrats were terrified of letting someone like RFK get involved with their party. I mean, look, the deep state or whoever it was took out JFK. They took out RFK, and here's RFK Jr. trying to stay involved. It's like, I appreciate the man's guts. I appreciate his gusto. But yeah, that deep state Democrat party, man, they do not like what America is. They have their own version, and they will do anything to screw Bernie Sanders out of his support in 2016 in favor of neocon, globalist, war hawk, puppet, monster Hillary Clinton. That's just who they are.
Not a puppet. She's the ruthless one at the top. She is calling shots.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they are hypocrites. But should Kamala Blake be disqualified for breaking the public trust?
That certainly could be. They are putting together. Let's see if I can find this article. Of course.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right,
these are moving.
Too many. Yeah, we're
chugging
moving,
along.
we're moving quick here. But let me.
By the way, here's a chance. Make sure you are following us on our podcast for Spotify. It's the Agree to Disagree show. Once again, hit like, hit subscribe wherever you're watching from. Comment, question of the day. Do you think Kamala is going to infuse anything interesting to the Democrat Party to close the gap? I feel like she's less popular than Trump, so no would be my answer there, but I'm curious to get yours. Type it in the comments so we can react to it. But also follow our channel, The New American Media, on Rumble. Get our Facebook page, The New American Media. Also, if you're in groups, search TNAM for The New American Media. There's about 10, 20 private groups that we run. You can join those. Patreon.com/The New American Media if you would like to contribute to independent journalism to help fund expenses like us going to Chicago or Milwaukee, etc. Truth Social, The New American Media. YouTube.com/@The New American Media. Odyssey, The New American Media. And X, @American_media_. Oh, forgot Telegram, TNAM and TNAM chat, and Instagram, The New American Media. Okay, Blake, articles of impeachment and introduced.
Yes, so they are going to try to take down Kamala. Let's say, so Representative Andy Ogles from Tennessee has introduced articles of impeachment already. This was just a couple days ago. She's been accused of high crimes and misdemeanors, stating that she has willfully and systemically refused to uphold federal immigration laws, and that her conduct of office of the VP, she has willfully prevented, obstructed, and impeded the administration of justice, and has demonstrated extraordinary incompetence in the execution of her duties. And she also goes on to say she breached the public's trust by not invoking the 25th Amendment after it became clear that Joe was mentally and physically unfit to serve. He added that immediate action must be taken. So what do you think of that? She should be held responsible because she knew that Joe was not well, he was cognitively impaired, or was she going to be the one that blew the whistle on this, leaked it to the story? Not that the press probably would have covered it anyway. I'm not really sure what she could have done in that situation, but I still don't like her. And yes, and if she's the border czar, and she's unqualified for.
Grade her on the border. Grade her on the border. That's enough. That is not even remotely qualified. She is unkamalified for the position. Second question of the day: would you say Kamala is unkamalified for the position of president? I will defend her a little bit in that situation. What are you supposed to do? Like you're a cog in the machine, and everyone around you is forcing you to pretend that Joe's okay. The media was doing it. There were no whistleblowers being honest about it. Republicans were saying it, but the one thing Democrats do, they march in lockstep. They're super weird and culty, like nothing I've ever seen. They are super culty. But what's Kamala supposed to do? They're surrounded by a support staff. Just prop Joe up like Weekend at Bernie's and move his hand, make him wave. Everything is fine. C-3PO, it's the machine that's running the government. But what are we doing, people? We're supposed to have somebody running the government. And it's not just supposed to be the deep state, who is hell-bent on hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of dead bodies in wars that are unnecessary when we could have negotiated something better. Those are the deep state, the bureaucrats, the unelected officials that are behind the scenes running up trillion-dollar deficits, ready to bankrupt our country. Letting tens of millions of people in without checking them for COVID, when you wouldn't let people in the military if they didn't take the jab. Nothing about this administration makes a lick of sense. So I think there needs to be accountability. Somebody needed to blow the whistle on the fact that this guy was out to lunch, but they ran him 4 years ago, and he was out to lunch 4 years ago. They pump him full of drugs. They, try to do the best you can at a debate, but look, the wheels fell off. He is way less capable, competent, if he's still with us, than he was then. So I don't know. I see that as a coin flip, Blake. Everybody needs to be punished, which is why you shouldn't vote Democrat ever again. Like, that's how you do it. It's not just Kamala. It's that whole party. You need to just say, you guys are out of your damn minds in 100 ways. I'm out. And for these reasons, I am out. So I'm fine disqualifying her for it, but she was put into an impossible position. So, but speaking of Kamala and the position she's in, is she using code word? Is equity just a code word for communism, Blake? Do you agree or disagree with that?
I think that absolutely could be. That seems to be par for the course for some of these people who have kind of been noted as having communist ideals, and they're Marxists. And I believe, wasn't her father a professor of Marxism?
I did
There's
see
some
that. I haven't
weird
verified it, but
Yeah.
I did see that.
I don't even have that. Let's see if I can get. Okay, it's up.
Yes, sir.
So they're saying, this is out of the Federalist, Kamala Harris's equity speak is code for communism. The left finally has a candidate who represents the soul of their new party, a shrill, race-hustling, 59-year-old childless woman. Ouch. Okay, so it says Kamala Harris is a communist, not an opinion. She has unwittingly admitted this on video more than once. And here is an example. I haven't even seen this, Brian.
Okay, let's hear it.
Equality is equality of opportunity. All right? We live in a society, we want all people to have whatever color your skin is.
Equity, I think, is more guarantee of outcome, is it not?
I think so. I think that's
Okay. So which side do you come down on?
Equality.
Equality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right?
That's some word salad again, but that's commie gibber speak. I mean, we've been hearing that claptrap for, geez, how many decades, Blake? 100 years, 200 years? Probably since the beginning of time. You know, you get a group of people together and say, we want more. Well, where do we get stuff? I don't know. That guy's got stuff. Let's get it. That's what this is. I don't know. It's commie gibber speak.
Yeah, I do believe that, at his heart, Obama is communist. He's very careful about how he presents that, using his words. But yes, through his actions, through his ideals, he's very deceptive, very radical. And yes, so they are going to fundamentally change this country, and it's not going to look the same after it's done. Not that there's an interesting philosophy on different sides, and there's ways I'd like to see things be a little more fair. That doesn't mean that everybody should be like equal. That could be problematic. So she's being called out for some of that stuff. So that's interesting. Let's see. There's another video I have not checked out yet.
All right, pull it up. Make sure you're following Blake on X. He's at TV's Blake Walley. Check out The Next Level News for his archive. Also, I forgot to mention that we are thenewamericanmedia.com. On that page, on the bottom right, you can find our Facebook page and our X feed. Plan on doing a revamp of the website coming up. That is going to be prioritized real soon, but there's a nice archive, like I said, from the past 13 years of content up there, including our footage from January 6th, etc., etc. Okay, Blake, you got a new video here.
So this is from Libby Emmons here. She says, this is scary, wanting everyone to end up in the same place, regardless of merit, talent, or effort. It's a concept that will penalize hard work and resourcefulness, and it's a collectivist mindset that is an anathema to American values. So let's
about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing, Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right?
We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base.
We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity. To put equity firmly at the center of our economic policy. But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners.
There you have it.
There's, yeah.
That's Kamala. You want that?
Ideology. I don't know.
4th Obama term coming up?
Yeah, definitely. Something's not looking good.
All right, so she's clearly rehearsed that line and she loves talking about it. So, you know, that's a good question, Blake. Is with Trump backpedaling on the debate, is it because he fears Kamala and he's not going to be able to retort against this commie gibber speak? What say you?
No, I'm gonna have to disagree there. Let's see if I can pull up another article.
All right.
Seem to be having these issues here. Tech issues.
Still have that
Pull this
screen.
one up. Yeah. Something.
Okay, start it again.
All righty.
Follow Blake on X at TV's Blake Walley. Hit like and subscribe right now, please, so that you can follow the Agree to Disagree show. I clicked it. It should be.
All right. Yes. Harris savage for claiming Trump is backpedaling on the debates. He didn't agree to debate puppet-installed candidates like you. So, I guess Kamala has not been democratically selected as the nominee, and as such, President Trump has suggested that the debate terms he agreed for September with Joe Biden should be reevaluated. That seems fair to me. So, I don't know, a lot of people are saying like Trump is afraid of her. He's trying to duck the debates, but that's not.
You mean Donald Duck?
Right.
Donald Duck. Donald Duck. Donald Duck. Oh, wasn't that a Chris Christie joke?
It was Chris. That was awful. Yeah.
Ugh.
He's usually better than that.
Ugh.
I can't stand the guy, but he's usually more clever. That was a terrible one that he would been rehearsed for a while.
But you know what? I got an idea. Why would Trump settle on a debate with Kamala Harris? Why?
Well, I think it'd be great to see it, but they haven't reorganized the terms, and he wasn't sure if she was going to be the nominee.
She might not be the nominee. I'm not convinced she will be the nominee.
Yeah.
If I'm Trump and I'm so clearly ahead, why even bother? Just say, I debated Joe. I knocked him out of the race. You guys are scrambling because you have no good ideas. If you want to see what I'm about, watch debate number 1. That's all you need to see. I'm not spending any more time messing with you guys. Like, I could respect that. It's like, you know who he was from his 4 years governing as President Trump. You know who he was in the 4 years since. You saw him in the past year, all of the campaigning at the Libertarian Convention getting booed. You saw him on stage getting shot. You saw him take out Biden. What more do you need to say? It's redundant. There's nothing to win at that point. I mean, maybe you do it anyway, but you could get into that questionable zone where the mean bully masculine Trump goes after the Kamala. You keep seeing all these memes. You can't discuss women in power. You can't criticize a woman. You can't criticize a woman of color. Or you see all these terrible arguments. Everything will be spun negatively. Why bother? She doesn't have her funding wrapped up. I believe that's in the court right now. She hasn't accepted the nomination because the party might still flip on her. Maybe it won't, but maybe it could. Anything could happen at a convention. All you got to do is nominate someone, then you go to a vote. Maybe they have it wrapped up. I'm not suggesting they don't, but they could. So if I'm Trump, I don't do a single thing at the moment. Let this play out. They are backstabbing and fighting and biting, and they are thrashing around. Let them do it for a while. Just stay out of it is what I'm thinking, Blake.
Right. They're just saying, yes, they could still be holding on for somebody better. So it would be inappropriate to schedule things with Harris because Democrats could still change their minds. They, of course, took that as, oh, he's backpedaling. But she's also said she refuses to commit to the Fox debate. She's only agreeing the ABC debate so that George Stephanopoulos can run cover for her. So I'm sure that's accurate too. So, I can't imagine that Trump actually is afraid of anybody. But yes, you can commit to this quite yet. Yes, she could be pulled very easily for a variety of different reasons. So we shall see. But there will be more debates.
All right. Hello to Tim and Kenneth and everybody in the chat. Appreciate having all of you here today. Please click the like and hit subscribe. Make sure you're following us in all of the places. Thank you so much. All right. Well, that's, yeah, Trump, stay out of it. Just wait until after the debates. Don't even get involved. Don't take the bait. Just see how it shakes out. Just no need to do anything right now is my thought. ABCIA. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Blake, we are wrapping up a rapid fire show. So final topic here, and we are going to go for today. It played and finish.
Yeah.
All right, Blake, final topic here. Agree, disagree that Aaron Rodgers was wrong for not taking the thing that people suggested he take. Was he right or wrong? Agree, disagree that he was wrong for not taking the thing.
Well, I guess he can always, go back and do it if he wants to. He has that option, but so far, yeah, it looks like he probably made the right decision to avoid that, because now we have one of the journalists who was criticizing Aaron Rodgers for his views on the jabs has just died unexpectedly at only 43 years old. So Matt Driscoll, 43, yes, columnist and opinion editor for the News Tribune, TNT, died unexpectedly. His death was announced. They've lost a friend. That's a terrible thing. But of course, yeah, it was interesting. He said he was the Johnny Appleseed of white guilt. I don't know. He seems like a little radical, little leftist, a little twisted, perhaps. And that he, of course, he had taken that jab happily as his masked up family at this game. And yes, he'd also been very vocal about NFL star Aaron Rodgers' controversial views about the jabs, and he accused Rodgers of engaging in performance art.
And by the way, we don't need to call it controversial views. What's controversial is trying to force someone to do something with their body. That's what's controversial. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's the tweet right here. Rodgers repeated popular conspiracy theories about the COVID jabs, citing a number of discredited sources, and claimed that he was being canceled and censored for doing his own research. I swear to God, it's like performance art at this point. So yes, because he was no longer will appear on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN. So yeah, I guess this didn't age well, and yes, too bad for Matt. It's unfortunate, but this is, when you're rushing into this experimental procedure, these things could potentially happen.
And I'll just add the caveat, there are plenty of people who did not take the jab that actually did die of COVID, and there's plenty of people that did take it. And, I don't know the actual cause of death here, and it may or may not be related. It's just, we've read that unexpectedly line so many times in the past few years. It's something that's necessary to discuss, and that's why it's been so frustrating trying to deal with Meta and Google, YouTube, because the internet used to be a place where you could discuss whatever you wanted to discuss, and that's the world I'd like to get back to. But it's been hard to talk in code and not feel free to discuss things openly. So there are some platforms better than others, X and Rumble. Make sure you're following the New American Media on both of those, and Blake, the Next Level News, and Blake Walley, all of that. So yeah,
So he loved to troll the anti-vaxxers, those crazy anti-vaxxers.
So he was the ringleader. He was one of the big players in the shame campaign.
Yeah, he loved promoting himself that way, and going after other people. And unfortunately, yeah, 43 years young. Too bad. Don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but
yeah, Aaron Rodgers was not
we can
wrong
speculate, right?
for making a decision on how he wanted to handle his health.
And there was another journalist, right, that was criticizing the tennis player who was the top tennis
Novak
guy.
Djokovic.
Yeah. So
a lot of them were.
Yeah, another journalist that and then died suddenly. I think there was another one. Yeah, was going after soccer or football. Yeah, there was a few. So it's unfortunate.
Yes. All right.
Thing.
Well,
But,
look, we're going to wrap up our live in Louisville series for now. Make sure you're following Blake at TV's Blake Walley and thenextlevelnews.com. Hit us up, thenewamericanmedia.com, youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. Subscribe, Rumble, and YouTube at X at American_media_. We'll be back with you. I'm going to try to do a show a day, at least. I'm going to try to do at least a show a day and maybe even more, and uploading more content like our interviews. Check out our interview series from the Republican convention. We sit down with the CEO of Louder with Crowder, Gerald A. Morgan Jr., for a conversation. We talk to Scott Pressler about his amazing Get Out the Vote efforts. And we also talk with Jim Hoft, who runs Gateway Pundit, one of the bigger news sites breaking a lot of stories these days. So check out those videos. We have more videos coming soon, as well as the videos that we recorded at the Libertarian Convention when RFK Jr. spoke, when Vivek Ramaswamy spoke, when Donald Trump spoke. It's been an interesting couple of months. Stay tuned. Follow us. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Peace. Hey, look at those balloons. What was that about? I don't know. Where did that happen?